Today in the crypto space, we're seeing a bit of follow through to the downside. Bitcoin dropping below the 112,000, currently holding steady though. Ethereum right around 4,200, also holding steady, while a bit of negativity throughout the market is bringing some of the altcoins down. However, we have some good gainers. We have Cake, AVAX, ZAEC, and many others looking pretty good. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about a project that, has gotten its moment and definitely looking for some support and perhaps a nice continuation to the upside, and that project is called Conflux. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the market, because we can generally see that there has been a bit of negativity in the last little bit. Let's quickly refresh this so that we make sure that we got the latest and the greatest. At the end of the day, we're still below the $4 trillion mark, right? What's a little bit worrying is that we're seeing some of the good gainers in the last little while take a bit of a dip. Like, we're talking about a lot of the gainers like Hemi took a bit of a dip today. Astra looking, a little bit funky, maybe does roll over, and a few others coming down. However, there are some projects looking good still, despite Bitcoin's negativity. The problem is if Bitcoin continues to behave this way, the fear is going to permeate throughout the market, and risk on assets are going to continue to sell off. So you got to be very, very careful here, as Bitcoin at the current moment is definitely in a bearish stance, and it might come down a little bit lower. Guys, I'm not expecting huge crashes or anything like that, but I definitely want to anticipate that the market does, move in peaks and valleys, ebb and flows, and ultimately we need to be prepared for both scenarios. Okay, guys, so before we get into the Conflux chart and talk about Conflux here, I want to quickly scrape to the top 100 so that we can get a sense of what things are looking like, and basically to be using this information with regards to Conflux's price action as well. As you can see, Bitcoin is currently on a lower time frame downtrend. As you can see, lower lows and lower highs. So is Ethereum. Right. What else do we got here? We have BNB still looking okay. It's fine. It didn't get a confirmation high, a lower high yet, or anything like that. In fact, it didn't even make a lower low, so it's still okay. But guys, if we get a confirmation high, a lower high, and then come down to break that low, guys, it's a change of character right here on the lower time frames. Not a good look. Solana's, downtrend. I'm just gonna be very clear here. A lot of these are on a 1 hour downtrend, clear downtrend. At AVAX, no chill. Built different lately, guys. You know that I've been telling you about AVAX. AVAX is one of those that, I wouldn't be shorting. I wouldn't be doing anything crazy with AVAX. It's getting its rotation. It's getting its moment. Let it do its thing. And we also talked about the possibility of seeing some of the, and by the way, when I say talked about, guys, I'm live every single night, okay, 8 p.m. EST, feel free to join. We talk about all kinds of different narratives, strategies and setups, and it's a great place for you to request any projects you want me to talk about and take a look at the chart, okay? So feel free to join. And the Discord, guys, the Discord is absolutely free. I don't ask for anything, and it's a great group of individuals, trying to navigate this market and help each other out. So yeah, check it out. Links are in the description. Now, Sui, what was I saying? Sui at the end of the day might get its moment, right? We'll continue going down. H-bar might get a moment, right? We might get a moment for Toncoin, might get its moment. We might get a moment. Polkadot, maybe, you never know. Maybe, Mantle, it's been getting its moment, right? It's been doing great in the last little bit. Does it come down for a dip so we can get our moment and accumulate? Uniswap coming down. And that's the thing. Majority of the market right now is feeling the heat. Near Protocol might get its rotation, right? If you think about it, a lot of these projects are decent. No doubt they're decent. They're okay. But if you're going to quickly scrape down all the way from beginning with AVAX and come all the way down, the truth is, other than Sui, and then maybe a couple others in between, which one? Maybe Aave, okay, maybe Athena, of course. That might catch a few bids. It already did well already, but Near Protocol is right there, guys. It's one of those, and you can tell it's showing strength during times of negativity. Okay, a lot of projects are dipping, and Near Protocol still showing strength. That's a sign of strength for me, and that keeps me interested in Near Protocol, given the fact that it got its proof of life already. Any dips, in my opinion, should be bought and held on to, because we could get that rotation to see some of these larger caps wake up. And the rest of the space, as you can see, is looking slumpy. Really slumpy. So it's very difficult to get in fresh longs right now. I understand the sentiment. And last night, I apologize once again for being bearish, because it's the hardest thing, and I don't like being bearish. But the reality is we have to identify when to be bearish. We have to try our best. Now, obviously, there's no degrees of certainty whatsoever. There's no certainty. But the reality is that when we get indications of potential bearishness, we need to entertain that thesis with action. It's not just about saying, oh, it looks bad, and not doing anything about it, guys. Head shorts, take profit, do your thing to get defensive, because right now the market in the next little while could be in this state. Now, a lot of us are thinking, including myself, that we can get a nice reaction right around the 110, 107, maybe something like that, and it would be great to see that happen. Ultimately, that would be the first point of interest, to see some of these recoveries throughout the space. But at the current moment, guys, as I'm scraping through them, I hope you're realizing everything is on a short-term time frame downtrend. 1 hour fractal. These are what these are. All right, guys. So it is what it is, guys. We need to be prepared. And of course, today's video is all about Conflux. So let's go check out what Conflux is about here. We can see it's right now trading slightly under 15 cents. It's at about $260 million market cap, and what I like, obviously, about it from its tokenomics perspective is that the circulating supply is very close to the total supply, which means that, it's pretty much fully diluted. Not much risk of dilution or sell pressure when, for token unlocks and such. Now, max supply, usually when that doesn't exist, I'm assuming that it's infinite, which means that a lot of the times the max supply is, capped, but in control basically through a DAO of sorts. So maybe up to governance, right? So keep that in mind. But right now, based on circulation and total, we're doing pretty good. No major risk of dilution. So not bad. And you can see, look at this price, guys. Flatlined here. Okay, so let's quickly see what CFX is about lately. Layer 1 blockchain transforming stablecoin and payment infrastructure for seamless consumer payments. Guys, this is good. All right, we're trying to find a use case, and its use case is for it to be the ability to use it as a payment system for everyday life, microtransactions as such. So I'm assuming it's fast, and I'm assuming that the the cost of use, or the cost of a transaction, the gas fee of sorts, is going to be low to make that feasible. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's give them a follow. Why not? Let's continue going down. We got a couple others here. Let's see what else we got. Hey, Conflux fam, this was posted 2 hours ago. Is this pinned? It is not pinned. I would love to see a pinned post of sorts to see what they really are trying to push. The deadline to submit your project for the Code Without Borders hackathon is approaching fast, so which is, usually a community event that does bring a little bit of interest to the project, which is cool. Now, while FreeX is building a Conflux network bridging forex trading pairs on chain for the first time. Guys, that's pretty good. Seeing a lot of these tokenized assets, getting involved here in the crypto space, to see other currency pairs, particularly tokenized fiat currencies, making their presence here in the crypto space, is also an opportunity. To see some real world asset scenarios play into crypto. So not bad. That's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. Let's continue going down. We're happy to announce that they've partnered with Paid Global to support Web3 friendly payroll services with efficient on-chain settlement, which kind of makes sense within their narrative, right? That's a great partnership. This is a few days ago, September 22nd, and you can see that the partnership, or the agreement here that they got here, is well announced and great for the socials, and its utility is definitely there as a micro payments, as an everyday type of thing, guys. We can handle our payroll systems here and get paid right here in crypto, which is obviously bullish overall, keeping our capital within crypto and entering crypto nice and easily. And there's a couple others, governance AI protocol to Conflux system. That's pretty good. That they have a decentralized organization of such, which is awesome to see. And there's a lot of good stuff here, guys. Go check it out. They got a lot of good posts. It's good to see that they're keeping up with this and providing lots of good alpha in the last little while. I gotta admit, the top 5 posts here are jam-packed with good information. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's see what's going on with the CFX chart and price action, of course. And the last little while, we did get a bit of negativity throughout the market. This negativity has brought us opportunity. What I mean by that is buy the dip opportunities come during red days when there's fear in the market. And I'm telling you this right now, CFX is dropping to the bottom of the range. Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. Now, before recording this video, I decided, I'm not going to clean up this chart. This probably was marked up during the live stream. I'm live every night, so a lot of charts get requested, and sometimes I don't clean them up. I usually scribble all over them and leave them and clean them up. This time, I left them, as you can see. And, it's actually not bad of an idea, because right here you can see the strategy. The strategy when I spoke about this was either we're going to structure, put a stop loss under it, and continue, right? And ideally that would have been the case, especially right on the resistance. Or we have to understand that we are tracking to points of interest, where reality is it's where liquidity is at. And at the current moment, I'm interested in what happens to this level. And if it doesn't hold up, which right now Bitcoin keeps on dipping, there's no doubt in my mind that CFX will keep on coming down to hunt liquidity where it matters most, right? Which is usually at these bottoms, or our worst case scenario at this order block right here into this node of volume, right about 6-7 cents, which I know sounds bearish, but the reality is it's not that bad. We can still make a higher low right into this level and still maintain a trajectory of making higher lows, and potentially, obviously we want those higher highs. But it's not talking about higher highs for a second here. Just understand the opportunity again, guys. When you get these red days and these dips, and we start making BOSs, break of structures, where we get impulsive moves and then bearish price action or bearish consolidations, and then continuations to the downside where we break bottoms like this. As you can see, this is a perfect BOS, break of structure. We coming down and fall through the imbalance through the volume gap right here, and definitely are entertaining the next level of liquidity where we can hunt. And the hunting levels is down here. This is the hunting ground, guys. Are we going to get there? It's most likely. Obviously, it's a game of probability. It's very highly possible that we come down here, and then right around this zone, I'm curious as how the market reacts. Do we use this level of support? Do we show signs of weakness from the bears that they cannot push lower? Do we start to get market structure shift price action, like, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handles, Adam and Eve patterns, class A bullish divergences? Any type of evidence at this level for me would be ideal. And note that I do also have a point of interest right at this level, because sometimes the price does get a bit of support right where the imbalance begins. It's a place where defensive strategies are already in place based on previous price action. Okay, so this is what we have to understand. This is almost like a make it or break it moment for CFX in a way, because if it's going to continue to the downside, it's going to continue through this imbalance. And based on that, guys, we're coming down a lot harder than you would expect. And then we're going to need to form a nice fat rounded bottom down here to suggest a reversal. Okay, so let's take a look at momentum and trend oscillator, guys. If you want to know more about this oscillator, it is called Synergy Signal. Links are in the description below. And as you can see, the momentum indicator right here, right? A multi-momentum indicator is currently looking bearish. And this is not exclusive to CFX, right? It's the whole market. It's not just CFX. So what I'm just trying to say here is ultimately we exited the chop zone. We left bullish overbought conditions, bullish conditions right there. We exited the chop zone, and now we're looking for the full reset and oversold conditions. And that is on the daily. Okay, so the daily seems to be in full control, guys. And the biggest question for a lot of us is, do we actually drop? Let me just quickly expand this oscillator so you can see it. Do we actually drop below the 30? And the biggest concern there is that if we drop below the 30, guys, we're coming down and it doesn't look good. Volatility is already there. Are we going to hesitate and wait for momentum to actually get down here before we actually reverse? Expansion's coming in right now. It's just beginning. How deep do we go within this expansion, considering that we're entering the most bearish part of momentum, which is down here in oversold conditions? You know what I mean? So ultimately, there's indications to me that I need to be risk off. If anything, I'll be looking for shorts. That's the truth. And taking advantage of the bearish momentum that we have. Guys, I hate to be bearish, but it is what it is. And we need to make sure that we understand that, the market works in peaks and valleys. It's not always up only. And right now, look at the trend oscillator. It's giving me multiple indications of bearishness, right? EMA is facing down, red histogram bars, and we are seeing these EMAs in the bearish control zone. All we need to put a stamp on it is a blue expansion down here. As soon as that happens, guys, we're seeing an expansion to the downside on the daily. I don't know if we're gonna get that, because you gotta know that trend oscillators usually are very lagging. Momentum oscillators are also lagging, but not as bad. Especially the way I programmed this, it's not that bad. But ultimately, lagging. All indicators are lagging in certain degrees, and at this current moment, regardless, we are seeing negativity throughout the market. And CFX, based on what I see here on the daily, it has a high tendency or high probability of, looking for support at lower levels if it does break below 14.5 cents, which you can see there's a volume node there being built as we speak. Let's see what happens and how this resolves and how ultimately Bitcoin behaves in the next 24 hours. We're going to have the Asia market opening up at 8 p.m. EST right when I go live. And then throughout the night, we're going to have, the UK. And then once again, market open for New York. Again, guys, we have a lot of price action that could happen and, cause a rebound to the upside. But at the current moment, guys, it looks a little funky. On the 4-hour, as you can see, this is nothing to be bullish about. This little flag right here, this little exchange of hands after a dip are just people taking profits and potentially preparing for another continuation to the downside. This is the biggest problem, is that, every little hesitation, people want to buy in. The problem is that every little hesitation could just be an exchange of hands or a continuation pattern. Yes, we are getting a bullish response on volatility. Beautiful. But are we even breaking to the upside and changing character of the structure on any time, a type of, sense? We're not. So let the momentum, let the volatility get overbought and enter short again, because you're trading with the trend on the daily. You're trading with the momentum on the daily. If we break down here, another BOS, a break of structure. If we can, isolate a change of character here, some sort of market structure shift, that would be great. But I don't see it here on the 4-hour just yet. Okay, so that's that. So maybe we do, maybe we don't. What are we going to do? Drop to lower time frames. Do you see anything here that could get you bullish here on the 15-minute? Not really. Around the top, I don't really like this. This is a complete distribution. Looks like distribution, guys. If we break below this neckline right here on the 15-minute, guys, just keep in mind the 15 minutes quick. This could probably be, and if we break below here, guys, we're going to come down again. And we're going to hunt liquidity where it matters, right? Right down here where all the stop losses are, and maybe even come down as low as this level. And again, BOS, break down below here and start cranking to the downside again. Guys, I hate being bearish, but it is what it is. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.